Hi. If you don't recognize my face, you might recognize my hands. I don't show my face so much on my channel, but I'd like to. And I thought this would be the perfect time since I have 5 different projects going on at the same time and none of them are finished. And I don't want to wait any longer to give you guys something. So why not start a little behind the scenes vlog style video? And I think it's especially exciting because I'm restarting my Etsy shop. Not the one where I sell patterns, that's already going. The one where I sell physical items, like stuff that I actually made and crocheted. I'm gonna start selling stuff again. It's been years and I'm currently working on developing my product line. So that's why I have so many projects going at once and no like finished tutorial or video to show for it. So let me show you a little bit of what I've been working on. Idea number 1 is a granny stitch little cropped sweater that was inspired by an image I saw on Pinterest. And I initially prototyped this one out in a very chunky yarn. Lion Brand feels like butter thick and quick to be exact. And while I liked the chunkiness, like I could make it quickly and sell it for a reasonable price. Well, let me just try it on and show you. It's like quite chunky. Little marshmallow. It's also kind of on the heavy side. If you've ever dealt with a business where you need to ship things, you know that weight is the enemy. So I wasn't thrilled with how heavy the finished project was. And also these yarn balls are deceptively small. So this actually took 7 balls, and with a multiple on the material and like the time it takes to make it, and then how heavy it is, it's probably gonna be a little costly to ship. I think it just brought the cost up of the sweater too much. So I was on the hunt for a still chunky, but cheaper, but lighter weight yarn. You may have seen reviews recently for this brand new yarn from Bernat called Fluffy. This really fit the bill of everything that I needed. It's a little less chunky. There's way, way, way more yardage in the ball. And why don't I just show you what the second prototype wound up looking like. It's just a little top down granny stitch. I tried to do some neck shaping so it doesn't ride up in the front. Let me see if I can change the camera. How cute. So this scale works a lot better for me. It's drapey, but still chunky enough that I could make them pretty quickly. This took me about 5 hours. So, you know, I charge myself minimum wage and you could easily get this to a price point where you could actually sell them to people. Of course, I'm going to come out with a pattern for this. And you may be wondering why, if I'm going to sell them, I would share the pattern with everyone for free. Well, I like to do both. I'm not afraid of a little competition. And I think that people who can make this themselves wouldn't buy it anyway. So no harm in sharing the pattern. So you can look forward to this one in multiple sizes. And then this is also kind of a granny stitch, also in that fluffy Bernat yarn. And I'm really excited about this one. Are you ready? How cute is this? Chunky beret, floppy. I even put the little nubbin on the top. Fun, right? And I can whip up one of these in probably an hour. So it's a no-brainer for a product in my Etsy shop. And it was really fun to design a beret style pattern. I've never done a beret hat. They're really cool. It's just like a circle on top of another circle with like the middle missing. A really unique shape for something that you wear. It kind of starts out in a hexagon shape and we just go from there. So I have a feeling everyone's really gonna like this pattern. I can't decide which pattern to release first. Maybe the hat, because it'll be a little easier to write. And then what's really been holding me up is I have a very big project going right now that I started before I decided to reopen my Etsy shop. So this isn't something that I'm going to sell, but it is a pattern I'm going to release for you guys. So we've all been seeing these perfect phasing yarns around, right? They're like ombre color changey, but they blend together seamlessly. This is Colorama Halo, but I think Bernat recently came out with a blanket yarn version of like the perfect phasing cake yarn. I really wanted to take full advantage of the perfect phasing, the gradual color changes with crochet. So to do that, I used the smallest crochet stitch that I know, which is moss, aka linen stitch. And the way the colors kind of radiated out from the middle, it really reminded me of like an aura. I've been seeing a lot of artwork and home decor based around like aura recently. And so I really wanted to make something that both took full advantage of the gradual color changes and that like kind of emanated out from the center. So this is a super sneak peek of the Aura blanket. Ta-da! Yep, this is crochet. Come a little closer, you say. So it really does start from a circle in the center. And girl, there was so much math involved in doing a linen stitch circle. Go ahead, try to find a linen stitch circle on the internet. Like, good luck to you. But I've got one coming. And not only did I math a linen stitch circle, I also squared it so that it could be more blankety. And I'm actually going to probably use up the rest of this ball and end with the bluish color and like a cute little border of some kind. So yes, as you can see, busy behind the scenes, but just not out there on the internet. And the last thing is that I recently moved, and so I'm in the process of establishing my like little yarn area in the house, my yarn corner, as I'm calling it. I'm also working on a video where I organize my yarn and, you know, show you guys some yarn organization solutions that I've discovered for this small space that I have. And so since I'm trying out all these new yarns and working on all these new projects, I keep messing up the yarn corner, and it's preventing me from getting that like really awesome before and after, like money shot of it looking all pristine. It's just getting a lot of action these days, so it's kind of always messy. But speaking of new yarns, Bernat Fluffy was not my only find as far as a yarn for my Etsy product line. I've been playing a lot with this, what do they call it? So many names. Lion Brand Cover Story Lazy Days Thick and Quick. Come on. Anyway, so it's a fiber-filled tube yarn, but what makes it a little different than others, like Bernat Maker Big, is it's polyester instead of cotton, and it's very, very soft, a little bit stretchier too, which if you've ever sold garments before, you know a little stretch can be a nice insurance policy to make sure that everything's going to fit everybody. And so one thing I'm working on in this yarn, doesn't look like much yet, this is actually knitted. This is going to be like a faux shoulder pad, little sleeveless sweater or vest type deal. I'm just really feeling that shoulder paddy silhouette. I think it's very 80s, it's very like elegant but casual, and I think shoulder pads could maybe have a moment. So what's going to happen with this is I'm going to knit it all in one piece with a neck hole and going to take advantage of the natural curl on the sides of the stockinette to add that bulk at the shoulder seam. So we'll see how that turns out. That will also be a pattern available, but admittedly a little bit later. And now I think I want to take you guys over to my computer so I can do a little show and tell about my 2 Etsy shops and like the backstory of my history with Etsy and selling patterns, selling things that I make. And if you're interested in that kind of like Etsy side, like behind the scenes business, professional yarn lady stuff, I'm going to have a poll over on the community tab of my YouTube channel, which is the perfect segue. Let's go to the computer so I can show you where that is. Okay, so here is my YouTube channel page. You get here by clicking on my name under the video, and you see up top here it says home, videos, shorts, live, playlists. There's a tab that says community, and I really like this tab. I wish we could use it more. It's kind of like the social part of YouTube. And here you can see like a little news feed of things I've posted or some polls. The poll related to this video is scheduled. You'll be able to answer it, and it's right here. I'm trying out a new vlog style video. So let's take a poll. How interested are you in behind the scenes videos about running an Etsy shop or making money with yarn? Fill out the answer that makes the most sense to you, because I'm trying something new here and I want to make sure that you like these videos. So any hoodle doodle poodle, let's go to Etsy because I'm sure there might be a little bit of confusion. So my Etsy shop currently is actually just a patterns shop, and it's called the Snugglery Patterns. This is where all my paid patterns are that some of you may be familiar. So I originally started out on Etsy by selling little knitted headbands and arm knit blankets and a couple of crochet items here and there. And my old shop was just called the Snugglery. When I transitioned to patterns, I was a little concerned about using the same images twice in one shop, and I was concerned about people being confused as to whether it was a pattern or a physical item. So at that point, when I started selling patterns, I decided to start a second Etsy shop just for digital downloads. That doesn't stop people from buying the downloads anyway and thinking it's a finished item for $5. But anyway, my last review in this shop is from January of 2021. I had about 871 sales. I started it back in 2014. And here's some of the items that I sold at the time. You know, the aesthetic is a little 2000 and late. So I'm thinking something totally different this time, like with that funky beret I showed you guys. So yeah, that's why I have 2 Etsy shops. I think it'll be a neat experiment to reopen this one and see, how an Etsy shop does, taking it off of vacation mode after 3 or 4 years. And then personally, I'm gonna do like a whole rebrand sort of thing because, a lot has changed since I stopped selling on Etsy. So I might want to change the way some things look. I'm still looking into new packaging and things like that, so that part's always really fun. So for the rest of the day, I think I'm going to work on that Aura blanket a little bit because I just feel like crocheting right now. And a little bit later, I have to go to Costco, and they have a basket there that I've been eyeing that I think will help move along my yarn corner organization video. And I hope you like this vlog style video. It was kind of fun to shoot. I hope it's also fun to edit. So look forward to more kind of chatty vlog style videos in the future and patterns for all those projects that I mentioned. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye. And I think it's especially, oh, that's a close shot. Blah.